are the 5 vices. That means 5 sins, 5 evils which are there inside our human body. So what are they? In Telugu and Sanskrit they say that Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada and Matsarya. That means we have all the 5 types of evils inside the body, like anger, hatred, jealousy, envy, attraction and gluttony. So these are also called as 7 deadly sins. So the present topic is related with these sins, in that we are dealing with the wrath. Wrath itself means anger. A very good morning to all of you. As I shared about myself, so here is a picture about the topic. So what you can see in the picture, what do you see in the picture exactly? There's a girl who's standing there, and there's a boy, and he's plucking an apple behind. So there is an expression on the girl's face. So she's not happy actually, right? So maybe she's very angry, or maybe she's sad. We don't know. So maybe it is a kind of anger which is seen in her face. Now, what are the kind of evils do we have in our human body, human nature? We have virtues and we have vices, right? So the both pictures which are a symbolic representation of the good and bad which is existing in the human nature. Now, let us talk about the 7 deadly sins or evils. What do we have in our human nature? The first one is lust, and the second one is gluttony, pride, sloth, wrath, greed and envy. You know, there is a book called 7 Deadly Sins by William Dunbar. So sins are nothing but these are the evils which are existing in the human nature. So presently we are dealing with wrath, that is anger. What is wrath exactly? It's an uncontrolled feeling of hatred and anger. So what do we do generally when we are very angry? So how to control it? Be patient, moderate your emotions, take a deep breath and then react. Okay, now our present poem, A Poison Tree, is related with this evil, that is wrath. So the present poem is A Poison Tree by William Blake. Who's William Blake actually? He's a poet of romantic age. He's born on 28th November in the 17th century and he died on 12th August 1827. He's an English poet, and not only a poet, many of the poets are painters as well, painter and printmaker. As I told you, he's an artist of romantic age. Romantic age started with the publishing of lyrical ballads in 1798 by Coleridge and his friend. So his works received little attention during his lifetime. So it happened with not only with Blake but many of the poets in the literature. So what are the things? What are his collections? His collections are songs of innocence and songs of experience. So this Poison Tree is a collection from songs of experience. So as I told you that he's a religious poet actually. So in songs of innocence, the themes which he applied are genuine love, trust toward humankind, unquestioned belief in Christianity. So in songs of experience, he wrote about the human nature and its connection with the society. And poems in either innocence or experience, they are colored by the speaker's state. That means whatever his mind, whatever his state. Then the examples of songs of innocence are The Lamp. You can see the poem The Lamp, and then The Tiger, and A Poison Tree. This Poison Tree is a collection from songs of experience. So now let us look at the Blake's art. So what kind of an artist he is? So look at his art. It's great art actually. Most of the poets and most of the writers of the centuries, maybe it is romantic age, maybe it is Renaissance age, whatever, they are good artists. And this Poison Tree has an allusion. This Poison Tree has an allusion. This Poison Tree has an allusion. So in this you can see that what is an allusion actually? Allusion is a figure of speech which talks or represent something with the past. So, till it bore an apple bright is a line which we can see in the poem. It alludes to the forbidden fruit. So, this poem has a theme of the forbidden fruit which is mentioned in the Bible. That is from the Paradise Lost, written by John Milton. So, in this forbidden fruit, it was from a forbidden tree which was denied a touch from Adam and Eve. But unfortunately, as we all know that, Eve touched it and Eve ate the forbidden fruit, and that was the reason that death was introduced to the human race as per the biblical theme. So, this fruit seems as it would offer a world of good, but it brings a world of despair. So, this is all about the illusion which is related with Adam and Eve. Now, I would like to read stanza by stanza. I was angry with my friend, I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe, I told it not, my wrath did grow. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. And I sunned it with my smiles, and with soft deceitful wiles. And it grew both day and night, till it bore an apple bright. And my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. And into my garden stole, when the night had veiled pole. In the morning, glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree. So this is the poem. So in this poem, I can see that this is these are the 4 stanzas which are there in the poem, and every stanza has 4 lines. So these stanzas are called as quatrains. So the first stanza. I was angry with my friend, I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe, I told it not, my wrath did grow. Here the speaker describes how he was angry with his friend and he told about his wrath and his anger disappeared. That means when he was very much angry with his friend, so generally what do? If we have any kind of anger on our friends, we just express it, right? Because they are our friends, because they don't mind, so we don't hesitate to express our any kind of emotion. Maybe it is happiness, maybe it is wrath, maybe it is fear, or whatever it is, because generally friendship is nothing but sharing of expressions or say sharing of experiences or any kind of emotions. Then I was angry with my foe, I told it not, my wrath did grow. So foe, what is the meaning of foe? Foe is enemy. So when we are angry with our foe, so here I represents the speaker. That means the speaker, I already told that the poem talks about the speaker's state. Here I represents the poet. So when he was angry with his enemy, he did not tell him about his anger. And what happened? When we don't express something, what happens? It starts repressing, and then it started to grow inside him like a tree. Then his wrath, that means his anger started growing like a tree. Then the next one. Second stanza. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. And I sunned it with smiles and with soft deceitful wiles. So, he treats his anger very much like a plant. I told you that he did not express his anger, and what happened? His anger started growing like a tree. And he fed his anger with tears and with fake smiles. That means whenever we want to let the plant live, we want to make the plant survive, what do we do generally? We just water it, right? In the same way, he is also watering the fake tree with fake smiles and tears, and which make his anger grow more and more inside him. So whenever we try to suppress something, what happens? It starts bursting out. So it started growing. So, and I sunned it with smiles, with soft deceitful wiles. So deceitful wiles means what? This is deceitful means something which is tricky or cheating somebody with tricks, a conspiracy indirectly. So the speaker is planning a trap to his enemy. So he wants his enemy to be captured. He wants his enemy to be his victim. So next in the third stanza. And it grew both day and night till it bore an apple bright. And my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. And what happened? As a result, in the third stanza, the speaker's anger started increasing day by day, and to that extent, that anger and wrath, it started taking a form of a poison tree. As I told you that this allusion is related to the biblical theme in the Paradise Lost, which is there about the forbidden tree. So which have been watered, it produces an apple bright. So this poison tree, this forbidden tree has given an apple bright, which is a forbidden fruit. As we say that false things are very attractive. Okay, so this apple is also very attractive and it is very bright because it is a trap to his enemy, right? So, and my foe beheld it shine. My foe means my enemy saw that this apple was shining and he knew that it was mine, and he knew that this apple belongs to the speaker, and for this reason he wants to have that apple. So he wants to have that apple because this is the apple which belongs to the speaker. Next in the fourth stanza, as we can see, and into my garden stole when the night had veiled the pole. In the morning glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree. So, into my garden he stole. That means this fellow, this enemy has crept into the garden of the speaker. And when the night had veiled the pole, veil, what is meant by veil? In Telugu we say it as musugu, right? Something, a covering, a veil. So, when the sky is veiled with the darkness, that means when the darkness has covered the sky totally. In the morning glad I see. That means in the night time he crept into his garden. He stole into his garden. And in the morning glad I see. So in the morning this fellow, the speaker, was very happy to see what? That his foe outstretched beneath the tree. That means he plucked the apple. He ate the apple and he outstretched. That means he died under the tree. So with his death, the anger, the wrath which is inside the speaker's heart and mind, it has started growing and growing, and then what happened? Finally, when he saw his enemy died and outstretched beneath the tree, his ego has been satisfied. So see, you can see there. So when the enemy tried to take the advantage of the speaker, then what happened? His poison tree has killed his enemy. So as you can see that this poem has some poetic devices. So before I go into the poetic devices, I want to say that this poem has 4 stanzas, in which for every stanza we has 4 lines. So like this, these kind of stanzas are called as lines. So what are the poetic devices we have? Okay, so diction and syntax. Contrasts of a friend and foe emphasizes the attitude. So it talks about friend and foe, and then it emphasizes the attitude, like what is the attitude of a friend and a foe. And what is the metaphor? What is metaphor actually? Metaphor is a figure of speech in which the characteristic of something is applied to someone. So wrath is a plant here. That means the anger is symbolized. The anger is similarly which is compared to a plant here. So the attributes of plant is given to anger here. Then symbolism. Symbolism means what actually? Whenever we talk about something, something comes into our mind. Like example, we can say archetypes. So symbolism. Apple. Here apple represents what? Sin. So here we can see that friend and foe grow. So the rhyming of the poem, the rhyme scheme of the poem we can observe. So what is the rhyme scheme of the poem? Let us see. So friend and end. Foe, grow. So A, B, B. So what you can look at the rhyme scheme. Friend, end, foe, grow. A, B, B. So like that. Friend A, end A, foe B, grow B. So like that, the rhyming scheme is called as A, B, B. Like that we can get the rhyme scheme of a particular poem. You can see the rhyme scheme. So it is having end rhyme. A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E, F, F, G, G, H, H. So this is the rhyme scheme of the poem. And the metaphor we have is anger. And the allusion, I told you that it is from the garden, fall of the garden Eden. Then theme. What is the theme of the poem? A gentle attitude is often a mask for anger. So whenever we are angry, what do we do generally? We try to put on a gentle mask. We try to disguise ourselves as very gentle and very soft. So pretending to be very friendly and accepting one is not. And the suppression of anger leads to a cultivation of anger. So what he is telling, what the speaker is trying to tell, that whenever we try to suppress the anger, what happens? It leads to the cultivation of anger. So whenever you feel angry, just tell them. Don't hide them inside your mind or heart, and don't get BP and other diseases. Okay. And what are the themes and moral values we have? The themes: dangers of harboring wrath and hatred, harboring ill feelings against someone. So when we have some kind of ill feelings towards others, it's very dangerous. And moral values. So what is the moral value that we get from this poem? We must not harbor wrath and hatred against anyone. So we cannot store any kind of anger against anyone. So tell them if you don't like something, and fight with them for 5 minutes, and then just get back to your friendship. Okay. The dangers of repressing anger and bottling up ill feelings. So suppressing anger is bad for us and those around. So suppressing anger is not good for us, and it will make us it will lodge us into a lot of troubles, because we start to act, and that is not good for our attitude, right? And it is not even good for our health. And the importance of communicating when there is a misunderstanding. So whenever there is a misunderstanding, try to resolve the conflict, because then and there the conflict ends. And forgiving and forgetting, these are the two key principles in the life which are very much important. Forgive and forget. These are the mantras that we should learn. So forgive them, it's not a problem, right? And forget. And thank you for giving me this opportunity, and good luck to everyone. Thank you.